So obviously, right, we've got the golf simulator. Whenever Cullen comes around to do a podcast, we take Caelan up. We let Caelan hit a fucking few balls. He gets bored pretty quickly, and then he gets to sit on my phone for half an hour while me and Cullen play golf. And then he'll occasionally take putts for us or whatever.
Yeah, he'll just decide when he wants to be involved.
Yeah. Because me and Cullen are having fun. Now, Cullen is the most unnatural, untalented golfer in the entire fucking world.
I've seen him on.
Stance of a penguin, cack-handed.
Yeah, but it seemed to kind of work. He had like his own thing going on, but like... You definitely wouldn't like look at his mechanics and try and replicate it.
No, and also like coaches don't try and fix it. Like coaches will be like, right, hold your club the right way, put your legs close together, do this, and he'll ping off into the woods. And they'll be like, can I just show you what it's like when I hit a cack-handed? And he'll hit it straight 150 yards, which isn't much, but we're shitty golfers. Straight is more important than distance, right? So we're up there playing. I'm so inconsistent. I go between hitting the ball fucking straight as fuck, exactly the distance I want, to just being gash all the time. Every single time he hits a drive up there, no matter what hole it's on, he's hitting at 150 yards. And he's like, 150 yards with a driver is unforgivable, right? You got to be hitting.
Is that really bad?
Yeah. For me, 150 is a 9-iron. Right, which is like the lowest of the irons before you get to pitch a wedge, right? Even an amateur golfer, not straight, is hitting a driver.
So he doesn't need a driver then, he's just playing off irons.
What?
So he shouldn't be using a driver.
He should not. He can't. No, he cannot. He should not be used. But every single time he's used the driver, because who gives a shit? It's not on a real golf course. He's hitting 115 in the final hole. And every time we're doing a hole that's like he's got 140 yards left, I'm like, looks like a driver to me.
Just going like you're fucking trying to hit it for 300.
Yeah, just take a little bit off your driver and you'll hit the fucking distance. And then as a joke, on the last hole, it's a par 3, 150 yards. And he went, I'm doing it. I'm using the driver and I'm fucking dying, laughing my ass off. Caelan's laughing, he doesn't know why, but it's funny. Cunt takes the driver straight on the green within 7 feet.
Oh, really? You got it within a bin lid. So that's what you've been doing with your retirement.
Also, nerd shit that you're the only person I think would appreciate.
I heard, because I listened to the first half of the last podcast before I got on the flight and didn't have any signal and hadn't downloaded it.
Yeah.
I heard you just started Stormlight.
Not even that nerd shit. Specifics of it, I even think you'd be more into. Even though I don't think it was technically your job.
Is it what your text is about with the VR?
No.
The 3-player, multiplayer VR.
But you're doing that after this.
Okay.
Because also after this is rush hour.
I'm hanging here till like 6:30 or something.
Yeah, you might as well fucking hang around for a little bit. No. VR, spoken about podcast. No. Way nerdier and less fucking cool. I've been testing pool water.
Oh, that was my thing. I would do that. I would waltz onto the pool and do like pH tests and all that, and chlorine. Like how much chlorine's remaining? What do you call it? Like it's combined chlorine. And
so there's full chlorine and total chlorine, and
then you work out how much is not being used, and you go, "Oh, that's all right." And if it's too much, you like have to pump water in and dilute it, otherwise people will get itchy skin.
Yeah. So full chlorine is.
Yeah. Sometimes you do the testing, going, that chlorine's all attached because like each molecule of chlorine will attach to a molecule of piss.
Yeah.
Or whatever's in there. And it'll just attach to it.
Yeah.
And then neutralise it.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you go out through there is not much of that spare. So that piss is going to seep into your bones.
So total chlorine is how much piss-soaked chlorine plus with fresh chlorine there is. And then if that's too high, you've got to make sure that your UV light is all fucking fixed.
And you have like a ballast tank that you fucking put scoops of powdered chlorine into, or is it more advanced than that these days?
Well, less. I scoop and I put my thumb in the scoop and I shake it in the water.
You just put it straight in the pool, which is kind of like what we were just putting it in the like sink tank. That was going to become pool water anyway.
Man, I feel like we fucking scientists. So you got to get some of the pool water out, then you got to put the lid on, and you got to test it. You got to clear it. You got to make sure it knows what the pool water's like. Then you got to take a little tab of some shit, right, and put that in. Put it in, and then it tells you
it's like ultraviolet light or something shoots through it, doesn't it?
It's like all the alkalinity on this one's down. So I'm sat there yesterday. I've been taught how to do it. I'm wanting to do it myself. I'm learning all the things. Not only am I learning how to test it, I'm learning how to fix it myself. Right. And then Caelan's like, can I help? And anytime my son says, can I help? I'm like, 100%, man. Like, most of the time, kids are just curious. And the reason they're annoying you is because they just want to be involved.
Yeah. So you've got him with a test tube mashing up a tablet.
Yeah. And the whole time, there's points.
Because is that what you still do? Put like a little bit in the bottom and then mash it up in the little bit with like plastic like thingy, and then top it up.
Yep.
You had him doing that. So he's like a little chemistry kid.
Yeah. I made sure I had him cleaning out the things, and he's got his wee fucking.
I've never worn goggles when I've done that ever.
Yeah.
But as soon as you introduce an infant into it, you're like, should you be wearing goggles? Because it's a concentrated. I don't know like what that tablet is exactly.
The tablets
because that's not chlorine.
No.
So it's not like he's got like condensed chlorine in the thing.
No. He's not. Also, he's not. He doesn't have the strength to do this cushion. I smash the thing and I let him shake it with the lid closed. He's mainly just taking pool water out and then hand it to me, and I let him play with the syringe to top it up, and then stop him sucking on the chlorine tabs. No, the little pill things.
Necking them like eggies.
They're massive as well. They're like the fucking what's that fake drug? Thingy's a made-up drug. How's this gone out of my head?
It's a made-up drug.
It's the TV show where the guy is. It was the original like Ali G undercover sort of thing.
Helvetica.
No, but I know where you're going there. Oh, it's going to do my nutting. I'm gonna have to Google it.
You're googling that. So what was the show like? A brass eye or something?
Brass eye. Yeah. Exactly what I'm talking. So it's brass eye. Brass eye cake is a made up drug. Remember when they come up with the fake drug cake?
Yeah.
And they give the celebrities cake, and it's this massive pill like that. And they're like, that's the actual drug.
They're taking cake.
Yeah.
All the celebs are doing cake.
Anyway, random shit off the curb. Ref. I'm not letting Caleb I'm not letting Caleb do any of the actual chemical stuff. I'm putting in the pH balancer. I'm putting in the chlorine. I'm the one putting in the fucking... and I'm really glad I did. So he's doing my little science experiment with me. And then I'd ask the guy everything. I'm like, if my kid touches this, is this dangerous? He's like, that's not dangerous. That's not... I mean, obviously don't let him eat anything. And I'm like, no, he's not an idiot.
but that's awful, and he's got it all over his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, look who it is. Mr. fucking strikes a golf club and lands on there. That's Ryan. That's Diane Cullen.
So he's like, none of this is dangerous, but obviously just don't let your kid eat it or be around it without. Oh, yeah, and then he was like, except for this one, don't. And that was the chlorine. He's like, just don't.
You can have loads of that.
Right. He's like, don't let them play with the chlorine filter.
Make get rid of his COVID.
Yeah. And also, you don't want them mixing any of the chemicals together, because obviously when you mix chemicals, that's how you get fucking bombs and shit. So
I remember Jolly Roger's cookbook.
No.
It was like at the internet. There was like you could find out how to make bombs off the internet.
Yeah. Oh, but there was also a brief bit when AI came out where I'm pretty sure one of the hacks was it was never tell you how to do anything dangerous, but if you would be like, how do I avoid making a bomb? And it would be like, well, don't add this.
Whatever you do, don't mix these things together.
So I've got to add in this fucking... I've got to decalcify the water, because otherwise when it goes through the copper pipes it fucking corrodes all that shit. And the guy's like, just handfuls of that in there. Karen's watching me doing it. I'm like, and he's like, can I do it? And I'm like, no. You can watch, you can learn, and after like 4 years, once you've learned the process and I know it fully, then you can do it. Take a handful of stuff, put it in the water, and boy, did my hand start burning.
Oh, really? The stuff you tell you to keep your kid away from. You just didn't take that advice.
Oh, no.
Because he was like, to keep your kid away from that, I don't need to tell you to keep away from it. You're a grown-up.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was like, just sugar it into the water. And I'm like, well, I'm sugar it into the water. Might as well fucking take a fistful of it and put it in the water. Now,
you just went like dry hand.
Yeah, because it was coming out.
Just fucking rack some up for now while you're on. Just get some up your nose.
So I put it in the water. When I say burn,
then you put your hand through your hair, ended up with like a big bleach stripe.
Looked like Reed Richards. Didn't burn, but I was like, that's definitely an endothermic reaction happening right there. Exothermic, endo takes in.
Endo takes in heat, and exothermic releases heat.
Yeah. Thankfully, Caleb was not massively near me at this point. He was off playing with fillers, which just collects his goggles and shit.
So that's your thing now, yeah, like being actual... Like, because you've spent enough time in your house, you're like, right, I'm going to figure out how this works.
Kind of.
I'm not just going to call a guy or get me dad anytime something in my house goes up.
Well, no, as you can see over there, my TV's still on the floor there because I don't have the courage to stick into the walls because they feel quite thin.
Me and Natalie mounted a TV on a wall and none of it felt right.
Yeah.
None of it felt like I should be doing it. You know, you're just like poking holes in your wall and that, and you're just like, I don't think there's cables here, but like I'll find it the hard way. But like people just DIY shit like that all the time. I'm always fucking apprehensive.
Yeah, but I think that's the opposite of toxic incompetence. is I think, don't get me wrong, I think there are people out there who are just like, you know, my dad, maybe a lot of people from our parents' generation, right? I would even put fucking
They'd be mortified at the idea of getting someone to do it.
Oh, yeah.
My dad like tiled his own bathroom without YouTube.
Yeah.
Like,
went to the library, read up on it.
He must have read up on it, or just asked a few people and just fucking give it a go. And he said, "It's still not finished."
Don't get me wrong. That's like, I admire any person that's like that. There was also this brief.
I wish I was handy. I wish they just taught us how to be handy in school instead of handsy.
They taught you how to be handsy. They taught you to calm it down.
I went to a Catholic school for a bit, didn't I?
Because in my,
it's like a monkey see, monkey do kind of thing.
When I moved house, all my YouTube fucking algorithm, my shorts were just showing me like people doing DIY, and I watched it the same way that I watch people cook recipes. I'm like, I could do that. I'm never ever going to do that, but I theoretically could do that. And then I got really into this one chick who, like, her first video was just her being like, I wanted to do all this stuff in my house. It was going to cost me too much money to get an expert to do it. And I said to myself, how hard could it be? Men do it. That just made me really laugh, right?
And then every time she cuts the camera, like a boyfriend comes and does it, and then she starts the camera again. There we go.
But she ended up literally just teaching herself everything.
Oh,
and she's like, I learned all of this from YouTube. It took me a couple of weeks. The first 2 months were kind of expensive because you got to make sure that you're buying the right saw. But that saw lasts you 10 years once you learn all this sort of stuff. And then, to be fair, she turned it into a fucking amazing home. And the only thing I thought of the entire time I was watching this video is being like,
I must be able to do it.
Nah, I was like, oh, fine, I'll get a woman in to do it.
I'll stop seeing get a man in.
Yeah.
Natalie is by far the more DIY minded out in my marriage. Mm-hmm. Unless like she keeps getting someone run when I'm not there.
I don't see. Cara's very, very capable of when she applies herself to something, but getting her to, she's like me, getting her to apply to anything that she's not interested in is not impossible.
It's mad, isn't it, how like you can have in your mind just a tab that's open in your mind, I'm going to do this thing, and that can turn, weeks can turn into months, can turn into years. And like, how long have I been in my house? 2021?
Yeah.
Every time I put the bins out, I'm like, I've got to get a handle for this gate.
Yeah.
I fucking close it with a brick, man. I just put a brick there. Just put a brick there, and if it's windy, wedge the brick.
Yeah.
Push the gate in, wedge it with a pavement. And every single time I do it, I'm like, I bought the stuff.
Of course you did.
I've got the lock. I've got the lock. I've got the handle.
That's half the battle.
Yeah. It's like going to the gym and not using any of the machines.
Yeah.
Like you've done the hard bit. You've done the bit that was holding you back.
Yeah. It's getting a gym membership. And just going, well, that's me halfway there. And it's like, buddy, that's 2%.
Still got to pay it.
Man, I cannot tell you how much protein powder is in my house.
You know what? That shit, if you leave that too long, like, that gives you gas.
Gives you gas anyway.
Yeah, but if you just go, right, I'm going to get back on the gym, where's my 3-year-old big farting? Your farts are going to be continuous, just a continuous stream.
The dream. Dream.
Why not? I'll never stop laughing.
Yeah.
Just laughing and farting. It's like how I want to spend my latter years. Just in a nursing home, rocking back and forwards, laughing and farting on a continuous loop.
Aye. People being like, wait, he told us not to pull the plug. He said he was very happy where he is.
He's doing what he loves.
Aye. The oxygen mask is connected to his arsehole. That's the bit that's fucked up. Because there are some times when I, like, what I've really gotten into while at home is getting into like making good ramen, but like in a easy way. Because like I kept watching these videos of these amazing fucking Japs. I know you can't call them Japs, but
they're always played out though, aren't they?
Aye, they're wee noodles.
Played out their noodles.
People can tell me the word Japs is racist, but I didn't serve in World War II, so I'm not using it in a racist way. It's just shorter than the word Japanese, so they're Japs.
Which is like also, like, we're not saying Jappies, are we?
No.
If we put an I at the end, but then again, saying Pax would still be weird.
And Chinese, you're getting close. Chins. A couple of chines.
Got more chins. That was a fat insult, wasn't it, where the Chinese got caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, more chins than a Chinese film.
It's a very good joke, by the way. Like, if you can get past what it is, like some of them jokes were class.
All right. So watching all these videos of these amazing Japs, like, and just making look noodles so easy. Like, they make the stuff, they fold it once, they fold it twice, they fold it 4 times, they fold it 8 times, and they've gone from one noodle to 1,216 fucking noodles. They throw it in.
Oh, so you're making noodles?
No. So those are all the videos I'm watching when I'm like, fucking, I'm never making noodles, right?
Aye, that's where I like draw the line with cooking. Like you've got ingredients, which will be bread or pasta, and then you've got people who make their ingredients.
Yeah.
I'll be like, no, let's get off the making the ingredients bit.
Yeah. So same thing with fucking gyozas. I love a gyoza. I'm not putting fucking mince through a thing with other shit and then learning fucking origami.
I think if you're doing that, because everything would take so long for you to have such like a quick mouth pleasure. You know, like the amount of time you've got to put in to cook the thing to then eat the thing. It's like such a fucking big slice of the pie chart is the preparation. I think for you to be doing that level of shit, you've got to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's like the knitting, the mindfulness, the like doing the, like you're treating cooking like crafts.
Yes, aye. It's got to be a passion and it's not for me. I just love ramen. So after I get down that little fucking rabbit hole on Jap YouTubes, end up getting to the real Japs, right? The Japs that don't make their own noodles. And they're like, here's how most of us actually make our own ramen when we're at home and we want ramen.
And they just probably a pot noodle.
They get the ramen packs that you get in the shops, right? So what you do is you take the sachet that they've got, you put that in, you get a little bit of Japanese mayo, Kewpie mayo, which is like a fucking more miso-y based thing. You put that in, egg yolk in that, a couple bits of seasoning, all of which I got at home. You fucking whip that up. Meanwhile, frozen gyoza, they're like, by the way, none of us care. We all use frozen gyoza. Just use frozen gyoza.
So you just kept going until the algorithm went, he wants ready meals.
He
wants ready meals. Let's just show him ready meals, and now he thinks he's Japanese.
But it's all about all the stuff you add. It's about how long you put the fucking noodles in, and it's about when you put the other stuff in. And oh my god, I make a really good gyoza ramen now, and it takes like 15 minutes, which is the dream, right? But it feels real, feels good. Obviously, it's nowhere near as good as the restaurants.
But that could possibly be how they're doing it in some of the places you go to.
No. But it's how I believe like fucking Japanese people that are cooking at home, like their comfort food, right? And I believe the Japanese comfort food.
So you've just found a good middle ground of how to have a house ramen.
Yeah,
house ramen.
Yeah. It makes me so gassy. So gassy. Now, here's the thing.
Gaseous clay. That's what they call you.
Yep. I do love the smell of my own farts. Right?
I think farts smell like soup.
What?
Your own farts smell like soup. Because like when you smell your own fart, it just smells like soup. When you smell someone else's, it stinks.
I've never done a fart that smelled like soup. What soup
what you've been eating?
Your soup?
I reckon farts smell like soup.
What kind of soup?
Like minging soup if it's someone else's, but like largely soup based. Like vegetables, like kind of.
I get the theory that it smells like soup because it's an amalgamation of different ingredients.
I think it probably says more about my mother's cooking. Maybe my mother's soup smells like farts. I don't think my mother's ever made soup.
No?
Nah, my granddad was big on making soup. Like,
kind of made soup.
He used to call it like when he'd pat, he could have like a bit of a belly from the beers, and he'd put it in, there's me soup. I always claimed it was his soup.
Was this your good granddad or your gross granddad?
That's why I keep my soup. Obviously, me sound granddad.
Aye.
Gross granddad would be like, I'll spunk. There's not enough of me bowels. Just full of jizz.
I'm just such a bloke.
Fucking every time I come, I'm like, I'm throwing rope. I guess I watch them like I get fed the Facebook. Fucking come on, Kai. Instagram reels of there's this guy who like shows you like little like hacks and cleaning in the kitchen. You like take some bicarb, put it in a zip fresh bag, put in some vinegar, put in that, and then tie it to the shower head, and then you time lapses it and you see all the black shit falling out the shower head. But he'll do it like in a like really nippy video, and I'm like, oh, I'll save that and I'll do that when I get home. Never gonna do that. Like, you know what'll happen with me? The shower head will get so black I'll get one new shower head.
100%.
I'll suggest doing that for about 5 years before getting one.
Yeah. Like, I often catch myself like, because me and Cal are on a similar level. We've done well in the fact that we've split up like the house chores, right? But we're both as lax with them. Like, she'll not bring up the fact that I've not brought the laundry that she does up to the bedrooms for 2 weeks now. She'll not bring that up because she knows I'll bring up the fact that she's not putting in the fucking dishes I washed away, right?
Yeah.
So, and also, like, most of the time, everything's upstairs. When the clothes are upstairs, we've got to go upstairs to get them. We get kids dressed downstairs. It's kind of more convenient sometimes for it to be down there. Also, when all the dishes are out there, if we don't have guests over, we're only washing the same 3 fucking plates.
Like, sometimes you need a guest. Sometimes you're like, right, sweet, guests are coming. Like, both of us just, like, get this house nice. And then we'll have a nice house and going, we should live like this. That's how we should live.
Because I fell in love and married someone so close to me in terms of, like, the occasional squalor that you're just willing to live in. I do catch myself thinking, being like, I wonder what it'd be like if I actually married someone who was actually like super clean all the time, and whether that would like irk me.
Would that make you like, would you be like, if they were like cleaning up and then not expecting anything from you, you would just feel like you had staff?
Yeah.
But then that would come with guilt.
Yep.
So then you'd probably use that guilt to step up.
Yeah, but then I think I'd feel fucking annoyed about it.
Like, I just want to play PlayStation, man. Why am I doing this all the time?
Yeah.
Why am I doing the garden?
And there'd be stuff where, like, if I was with somebody super clean and they're like, oh, if you put bicarbonate in a bag of vinegar and put it on the fucking shower head, I'd be like, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind here.
Next thing you know, she's like, bicarbonate vinegar, black shit coming out of my teeth.
And then every time I catch myself thinking that thing of being like, I wonder what it would be like if I actually married someone who's much cleaner. I wonder how often that thought crosses my wife's mind. I wonder if we're just in separate rooms in the house, finally doing
fantasizing, watching fucking porn videos with maids in them. Like, that's the old school porn videos start making a comeback.
Also, I should be the cleaner one at this point because she's breastfeeding.
Oh yeah,
she's
you're her caddy right now. Like, you should be just making her life just smooth as possible.
Oh yeah, but I'm doing that by fucking taking care of a terrorist, man. I got a fucking almost 3-year-old.
That is true. You are playing FIFA with Matty on an evening.
Okay, well, because here's the thing with Cara's, like, once, and this is what we used to do. She's like, once the kids are in bed, we'll tidy the house, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I love my son. He's the fucking tits. When he's in bed, I need to shut the fuck down. I just need to turn off. She's like, should we clean? And I'm like, if we live 2 more days in squalor, the cleaner turns up. Like, and then I promise.
Oh yeah, have you considered what your life would be like if you couldn't afford a cleaner, or if like it wasn't in your budget?
Yeah, yeah.
And you had to actually do work on a day.
No. Well, I mean, it would have to be
like people have it really hard.
But so here's the thing: is I don't mind cleaning, and I think when our baby girl's older, it'll be better. Like, man, I can happily clean for 2 hours because I can just listen to a fucking Critical Role podcast and clean. But the problem is, I can't clean for 2 hours in a row because I can't lump her with a baby that she's breastfeeding and a 3-year-old that's almost 3-year-old that's running around all the time. Like, I can do that for maybe like half an hour, 45 minutes at a time.
2 weeks at a time if you're earning.
Aye. Just it's not bad. When I say squalor, it's not like we used to live before we had kids. But obviously, we now clean way more than we used to because we have children. But because we have children, the house is still at the same level because they destroy the place. Good thing is, though, there's a kids' playroom, which is separate to the fucking living room.
Yeah, I see. Your living room's not just like all the toys are spilled out of it. You've contained that shit.
Yeah, kitchen's nice. Normally fucking clean. There's just...
Because I feel bad when, like, well, not bad, but like I feel like I could be at home helping when I'm away. I just like spent 3 weeks on the road, and like Natalie's like just making sure she's either looking after the dog or the dog's got care. And this is just a dog. This isn't kids. And then like she's got the business as well, but like also trying to keep on top of the house. And like when I'm home, I can just make that really smooth for her. Like, I can just keep the house nice, and like I'm there for Peggy, and like it just, when I go away, her life gets harder, and there's no kids involved. So that must be fucking like mad trying to do a job where you work away with children.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine going on tour anytime like soon. Mind you, when Ayla's older, it'll be different. Kaelin will go to playgroup a little bit more, be away during the week.
I guess that's it, when school acts as a babysitter for a lot of the time.
Also, Cara doesn't, she's too proud, she's too wearing glass, she doesn't ask for help.
Nah.
Nah.
She won't get like parents round of that, friends round.
Nah.
I would be I'm working class as fuck, and I'd just be like, yeah, you come to me and I need a hand with this.
Right, so Laura's, so Gareth's stag do is in fucking whenever it is, right?
Does he know?
I think so.
Like,
but he also doesn't, there's no way he doesn't listen.
I don't imagine he's listening to this, but like we still don't want to give it away.
But whenever it is, I'm going away for 3-4 days, coming back. Cara, just doing that fucking solo, right? Wouldn't cross our mind to ask for any help, get anyone down, even though my mum is continuously like, please ask for some help. We'd love to see our grandkids more, even though her parents, whenever they can get down, are desperate to fucking get down. Cara's like, I can do it myself. I absolutely am. Cara is going away on Laura's hen do, and I phoned her parents and I'm like, you're coming down for the weekend and you're staying until your daughter's back. And Cara's like, you can do it by yourself. I'm like, I probably could, but I'm not embarrassed by asking for help. I don't feel any shame by going, having 2 kids versus 1 is difficult. If I can change this to 3 versus 2, I'm doing that.
Why would you have like...
I'm not King Leonidas standing in the middle being like, I can fucking take on these unassailable numbers. I'm going to do this alone for the sake of pride. I'm like, get both sets of grandparents over. I can do my Warhammer. I can play some golf.
And I'm babysitting you now. Yeah, because it's like, there's people out there, man, that don't have that support structure and would love it. And to have it and not use it.
Yeah.
Is it like, because as well, I'm gonna go ahead and say, Anna, Dave, and Eileen, I know your mum and dad, they're not gonna feel put out to come and hang out with their grandkids.
They would like it way more.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. Dave and Eileen live up in Aberdeen, so they can't get down as much because they're still working. Obviously, both my parents are working, but the drop of a fucking hat, if you gave them,
give them heads up. It's February. They'd come down long weekend.
Oh yeah, they'd be ahead.
That's when you come down. Aye, so I've been on tour without you. It was weird, wasn't it?
Aye, that'll teach you.
Going rogue. I had a fucking nice time, but I tell you what I didn't appreciate for you until I'd done this tour is how much I've...
how annoying tour sports can be.
Nah, that kind of was grand. That 2 hours that you're on stage... I've missed that time.
Oh yeah,
that was my time. That that was the like. You've got the flight. You've got the checking into your hotel. You've got the getting to the venue, and then it's when I've done my set and you get on stage. That is when I can just like read a book or watch some stuff, and there's nothing else on my mind. It's not like I'm fucking thinking about me next thing. I'm just like fucking. Like, there's no CPU usage going on in my head apart from whatever I'm doing, watching football or watching a film or something. And I missed that time. But then on the flip side, I did appreciate me that I would always do the sound check and do the setting up the podcast because I still had to do that as well. So it's not like I got to just get to the venue and sit down and have a sandwich. I had to get to the venue and then like try and get the sound check translated, which I'm used to doing. Like, if anyone's going to do that, I'm the one, because I've fucking done that for so many years. But I just felt like it's a bit more relentless when you're doing the main spot.
Yeah, I guess I'd never fucking considered the time on stage, because I mean, I do 90 minutes on stage. Plus the interval.
You know what? I used to question why you ended up doing 90 minutes. I was like, 90 minutes just feels long. Like, I didn't complain because I wanted to film. It's perfect length of time for watching a film backstage. Yeah. But I just felt like how do you not get to an hour and then just feel like, yeah, it's doing too long? And man, just watching me fucking show just expand and not want to drop anything over the course of this tour. The last one I did there was like an hour and a half. Aye. And I was like, oh, right, I get that now. Because at the Fringe, you've got no choice. The fucker there's your slot. Aye. There's somebody on after you. Like, you've got to hit that hour. So like you're drilled at the Fringe, but when you're on tour, you're like, oh, they've come to see me. There's no curfew on the building. Like the fucking.
And also, you're not going like the Fringe. You're not going to be fucking back there for like a year or two, depending on. Well, I mean, you might be back there next year. But
I think I'm going to do it next year. You know, I'm almost certain I'm going to do it next year because I want to do it every 2 years, but I need to get out of the sequence of the football tournaments. I need to get on odd numbers. So if I do 2025, that means I can do 27 and so on.
Aye. Not worried about the Rugby World Cup?
I don't think they're going to have that many... There you go. Going for a wonder. So I haven't smoked a vape, a cigarette, a snus. I haven't smoked a snus for sure in just over 6 weeks now. Aye. Because I stopped a couple. I think I might have mentioned a couple of weeks before the Maldives, because I didn't want to be smoking on holiday, and I also didn't want to be angry on holiday. So, and then I just managed to keep it going throughout the tour, and I've been using the app, and I have saved you approximately £300 in vapes. It tells us how much I've saved you.
Aye.
From bumming your vape.
Aye, I've got to go back on the fucking... I got down to like the 7 milligram patches, and then...
Oh yeah, you were patching up last time I saw you.
Aye, and it was going well, but then with all the writing stuff I've been doing, it's been fun. It's not been fucking stressful, but just like sitting down for 2 fucking hours at a time and writing. I was just like, I just need something, so I ended up fucking back on it.
It was actually, I'm not saying it's hard. Like, I passed the big challenge of doing the Balkan countries in Turkey, where everybody smokes.
Yeah.
Not just like the occasional smoker, but just you go into a restaurant, you want smoking or non-smoking, and the people that you're with say smoking.
Yeah.
Right? And then like everywhere, just backstage at the comedy club and all that, just sparking up. Managed to not even feel the hand on me back pushing us to bum one. Like, I got through that near bummer. And also, I think that might be like the longest stretch I've done in the Balkans, because we've dipped in and out a handful of times. But like, I was there for quite an extended period of time. And like driving between... Man, I got driven from Romania by a Romanian man and dropped off at the Bulgarian border and picked up by a Bulgarian. I think we've done that drive before, but we went right through.
Yeah.
But I got like dropped off at the border and picked up by someone else, and I've never felt more like I was role-playing being human trafficked. It was like fucking, I'm going to wake up in a bathtub full of ice with fucking abdominal stitches.
How long were the drives?
Any minute. That one was quite a big one, because it was an hour and a half to get from Bucharest to the border, and then it was about 4 hours to get to Sofia. But it was one of the guys who... I'm glad he reminded us, because I wouldn't have remembered. Went to that nightclub where Matthew Ellis was there, and we were pouring bottles of vodka into our mouth, because I found the videos, you know, and you can go on location and zoom in. I found the videos of we're just like straight shooting like dentist chair and vodka, and I paused the video and zoomed in there, because he looks a bit like Aguero. There's just Aguero in the background of the video. And they are fucking hell. So that was 2018. That was the night you found out about your Netflix specials. So the guy that come to pick us up, I didn't recognise him straight away, but he reminded me that fucking partied hard that night, so that was a bit of a throwback.
When did you get married? You get married?
That was that year.
You got married 2018?
Also, so I got married in September 2018. Oh no,
so it must have been 2017.
No, this is where I got it wrong. It wasn't the year you got your Netflix.
Aye.
It was the year after. It was the one where we came back.
Aye.
Because you were in the comedy club the first time. So I got that mixed up completely. Where was I going with that?
Romania, by the sounds of things.
Romania. It was just like, it's amazing. Like, everyone's just fucking so funny. Like, you know, remember Sasha, the tour manager and thing. Just the way they carry themselves just cracks us up. He was like, he lent us his charger, and he was like, "Oh, can I get my charger back now?" And I was like, "Nah." And then he just went, "Do you think you're stronger than me?" Really thick Slavic accent. Just say that. Do you think you're stronger than me? Just like instantly there.
Aye, they've had war too nearby in both like region and time frame to not still be terrifying.
Oh yeah, he was in it. Like the last episode that isn't out yet. I've just recorded it, but it'll be out before this one. The last episode was just me and a Croatian comedian, just talking about fucking Sasha's war stories, because it's just unbelievable. Like, he's talking about it like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
'cause it was 30 years ago, so he would have been like in his 20s or something.
Aye,
but it's
and he was in the war, was he?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Aye, yeah.
Who were they fighting?
Serbia.
Aye.
But I didn't know that at the time. I feel like I'm repeating myself from 2 days ago. But that, like, when he was telling us the stories about war, I didn't know what the war was. Like, I don't know. Like, I knew there was like independence things going on with Yugoslavia and the countries broke up and everything. But like, because he was telling us in such graphic detail about what was happening on the floor, I didn't want to just like wield me ignorance at him.
Serbs were the bad guys, right?
To him, yeah. And also to the world, I think, because that America got involved and gave them a fucking sucker punch, didn't they?
Yeah, aye. I think they were. I think there was, not that anyone's dead sound in war.
I'd like to know a bit more about them countries because, like, after spending a bit of time there, it's fucking. All right, it's cool as fuck. Like,
I love it.
My opening line was always about fucking it's such a magical place. Everything that meets the eye needs fixing. It's just in disrepair. It's in proper disrepair. So Bulgaria, the fucking. I don't think we discovered this when we were there, but they nod their head for no. And they shake their head for yes.
Oh really?
Aye.
Is it like the Australian? Is this like it's like the Australian? Yeah.
But that's pretty jarring.
Oh, not like the Indians who just fucking shake their head the whole time.
Shake their head.
Aye.
Means yes sir.
Aye. Just happy the whole fucking time.
Yeah. That's a fucking big year we've had. Like if we're thinking of the wrap on this year, because that like we started off. Remember we did that tour of Scandinavia. And we had the cryo chamber thing with Barang. That was that trip. Yeah. And then we did India shortly after that. Then we did altitude. Oh yeah, before India we did Greece and Turkey as like new territories.
Yeah.
Oh no, we did Greece before. Then altitude, and then that big tour of America.
Yeah.
And then fucking I just come back and just got straight back on the grind again. And just top and tailed the air with big European tour.
Yeah, I've not done. I mean, not including Dublin and London, like the October shows.
Oh yeah, the Have a Word roast.
Yeah. I've not done shit since fucking 20th of May.
Still not interested. No. Everyone's asking after you, like.
Are they?
Everyone's just wondering if you're gonna do another show or like what your plans are and stuff, and asking.
I think it'll be a while. Depends if the writing stuff takes off. Then I think I'll just fill up enough of my diary that I don't. But I cannot. I've never felt less funny.
Nah,
I got nothing to say. And also the stuff I do have to say doesn't belong on stage. I'm not going on stage and being a dad comic. I'm just not. I'm not doing it to myself.
Even when people are listening to this podcast now, it's just so out of touch with the rest of the world that you're like talking about your golf simulator in your house, and then you're talking about you trying to get by until the cleaner gets here.
Yeah.
And just all that stuff is so like it's so not in touch with the people, and the people are buying the tickets. So you need to do something to try and reconnect and get your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Because you're having a nice time, but you're just floating off from the real world.
Yeah,
in your little bubble. But your swimming pool chlorine tests and shit. It's a fucking.
I know, but touring doesn't bring you down to earth. Like being picked up from airports and being on tour buses isn't, and being away and being angry at airport staff. That's not the fucking real world. The real world is being a parent, mm-hmm. And I'm sure I could cast some fucking fresh light on that. But at the moment, I'm just like, right, fucking last really good show I did was X. Last two shows were fine, right? Next one has to be really good. It can't just be another fucking straight down the middle, bang average show. And
because you know what
I'm not doing a parent show, and I know legacy's not important. I remember watching Mike Tyson before his fucking Jake Paul fight, being like
chatting to a child, chatting to a 13-year-old lass,
being like legacy's a myth, legacy's all ego. And
you would say that you're doing cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
It's because you've thrown yours away.
Yeah, I'm like, you are shitting on your legacy, you absolute fucking mental case by going into this bout. Justify it to yourself.
Do you know where the term sour grapes comes from? The fox that couldn't work out how to get the grapes, couldn't get his cunning, so he just decided he didn't want the grapes because they were sour.
No.
It's just the sour grapes from Mike Tyson. Aye. I didn't want the legacy, them grapes are sour.
Aye. My legacy's still a bit important to me, which is silly, but I feel like...
Die then.
I can't.
Sat here chatting to me.
Yeah, I can't.
And then die and fucking cement your legacy.
No, the kids aren't on the right path yet. That's when you can do it. Without me, they'll get issues, they'll need therapy.
You see, we're writing a show, right? I've done 10 shows now, so that's my 10th one. So have I caught up with you yet? Are you on 10?
I'm on fucking
11. You're 2 years of career ahead of me, and I've only dropped 2 fringes.
X was my 10th show, that's why it was called X.
Right, so you're on 12.
Yeah, so
you're on 12, now I'm on 10. So there's 2 years of career between them. Of them 10 shows, there's only been 2 that I've done where people have stood up to clap at the end, and that's the How to Be Happy speech in the Punch Drunk finale. And when I was like writing this show, I was like racking my brains on like, is there a way I can just fucking tie this up in a way that's gonna make people fire out their seats? If it's like, you know, if the show's in the fucking perfect environment, obviously you're not trying to get a standing ovation at every gig, but like, could it be capable of a standing ovation? I just couldn't find it, like anything in my head to try and end with that bang, with that fucking boom at the end. And I don't know if you can find it. Does it just come to you that?
Well, it's got to be something that you're fucking, you know, passionate about, right? Dark was, I was trying to get rid of my fucking young fucking comedian image. And I was like, well, I've always wanted to do the dark fucking atheist, angry fucking shit. I'm passionate about dark humour. I think everyone who's offended by it's a fucking loser. And also we should all be able to talk about death and disability. You should be able to joke about everything. Was passionate about that. Ended up writing dark. Right? Jigsaw had a toxic relationship with an horrible evil witch. Got out of it. Was like, nobody else should have to go through this again. Mm-hmm. Like, and
it's like way more relatable than you would like to have been.
Yeah, like, yeah. People need to like get out of fucking horrible toxic relationships. And I was passionate about people who were in shitty relationships acting like they were in a happier place because they were settling for some ugly fucker because they couldn't get anything else. So I wanted to yell at those pieces of shit. Dead. That was a good show. Socio, I wasn't really passionate about anything there, really. I guess there was some.
That was your Who Choose Juice show.
Yeah, aye. In the middle.
Fun.
Aye. Friend got raped by another mate. Was passionate about that not being cool. So
yeah. Also, there's something to get across here.
Yeah, and also I had to reassess my whole fucking attitude. So it was like, okay, well, this is something I'm passionate about. This is something I've learned about. I can write a fucking dead good show. After this, then, you know, dead. And then hubris, there was a bit of passion in there. You know, it was just like, my passion was I'm just going to go off the rails here. I'm just going to go be fucking silly and dumb.
What was because the last one, Can't, that was the childbirth show.
Yeah.
So that was a bit more thematic. But what was hubris? Was that thematic at all?
Nah.
No, that was just bits.
It's just bits.
Yeah.
Can't was originally meant to be like how you can't fucking say anything anymore, even though you absolutely fucking can, and only the talentless say that. And then obviously Cara gave birth and it was fucking dramatic, and that became 45 minutes of the show. So I guess it sort of became that. And then also I do feel like a lot of my shows, just basically because of the fans I've got, they want to hear about my life, right? Because obviously not all of them listen to this, so they want some sort of update on my life. But like, I can't just do a show about fucking the birth of Ayla. I've done the birth show, right? You know, I will be passionate about something again. There will be something. There will be something.
Has every one of your shows been like a one-word title?
No, early doors there was Teenage Kicks in My Generation.
Oh yeah. So maybe it's like time for a new phase. Maybe you've done your one-word show phase, and now it's time for the phase of like taking my tuna fish to the grave.
Oh, become one of those fucking one of those fucking quirky bags of shit. I thought
it was funny when Rod Gilbert did it the first time. What was that like? The flaming Battenberg or something like that, right? The Flaming Battenberg tattoo. It was something, and then there was just like this spawn of just like random collection of words.
Aye. Well, I thought I had the idea for my next, well, at least the idea for the name of the show was going to be MUD, M-U-D, because that's like marijuana usage deficiency, which is like the woke way of describing a fucking stoner. Aye. Because obviously there's negative connotations with the word stoner, so we're going to try and empower people by changing the word. It's like, well, people are just going to call you MUD then.
Blood.
Aye. So I was like, I could talk about diction. And that can maybe get into that.
Like that's if you start talking about addiction and get that audience, that's gonna be a different fucking queue of people waiting to see you, like at the end of the show.
Yeah. Also,
you're gonna be like the fucking meth queue jogging on the spot waiting to tell you how much you mean to them.
There's also like, I said, I've definitely said this on the podcast before, and it's also a fucking joke that would be in the show, but I know this is wrong. Right, because you know any type of addiction, whether it's fucking alcohol addiction, gambling addiction, whatever, addiction ruins life. It's a fucking mindset, something that happens to you, right? Aye. It's something in your brain that goes, "This is where I get, you know, something good from. And even though that reduces over time, I just want that feeling regardless to the detriment of fucking everything else. Calling yourself a drug addict when you smoke weed all the time, it's like being racist to the finish. Nobody gives a fuck. It's not. Racism is awful. Racism is really bad.
More like hell stinky.
Yeah. Who gives a fuck?
No one cares.
Who gives a fuck if you're racist to the finish, man? I don't even think the Finnish would care. No. They're busy building up their army for Russia about to invade. They're busy, right? They got stuff on their mind. They couldn't give a fuck if I'm just like, hey guys, too much fish in all your meals. They're like, all right, cool. If you. Marijuana addiction's a fucking, real thing. Didn't ruin my life, but fucking dragged me down for several years. I'm sort of glad I'm past it-ish now.
Tina Shelby quitting cigarettes.
Exactly. Aye, man. It's just not. It's the equivalent of doing a dead dog show.
Aye.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, my gran died, my dad died, my granddad I was really close to, he's dead, my mum died, my brother died, my fucking sister died. I had snuffles for 12 years. Fuck off, man. You're not getting fucking grief at me for a dead fucking dog. I'm sad for you.
Even though that would be like fucking I can't believe how much I used to take the piss out of Barry when his dog died. I was like, oh, now we've just got another thing to attach memes to with Barry because he's hard to insult. Now I'm just like, oh, I should have had more compassion. But that's something that you deal with that, mate. Didn't make like a 45-minute fucking lull buster.
Man. Look, I still love stand-up. There's no way I'm done. There's no way I'm fucking finished, right? I love the feeling to be on stage. I love the feeling of writing fucking jokes. Like, I'm excited about writing new bits and going through that process again. I really fucking enjoy it. But, there's just this thing about, I know the second I start writing fucking jokes, stuff's going to be start putting in the fucking diary, and then the second that ball's rolling, a tour's on the way.
And
so
you just want to keep that door locked for a little while.
Yeah, just for a little bit. And also, I've got so many friends now, right? That
show off.
You've been away, right? I've been lonely.
I've seen you doing solo podcast, Daniel. I've been watching you. You got no friends.
People can't handle Cullen once a week. We can barely handle Cullen once a week.
I started a football podcast with
him. I've got friends from around the world who are their careers are fucking taking off. Milo's one of them. Got a couple of mates in America whose careers are fucking kicking off. And a lot of them are coming to me just for advice because I've obviously at different stages of my career where things have blown up. And they're like, how do you deal with this? How do you deal with this? And I'm like, buddy, I didn't fucking deal with it.
That's me. I'm the one that dealt with it the worst.
I'm like, I used to drink a bottle of whiskey on stage at night.
Yeah, just made booze.
Yeah.
Booze is the answer. Yeah. Tell your fans to bring weed and get a bottle of whiskey backstage and a bottle of gin. Because you run out.
Yeah. And sometimes you would go through both. Yeah. I drank heavily. I toured too much. I fucking destroyed my mental health. I've gone through 4 fucking therapists. I don't know why you're coming to me.
All dead. all killed themselves.
In front of me. During the thing. And that's why I had to go to therapy for the next one. I'm like, he did it right in front of me. And they're like, did he? I can't imagine.
You had to call the police and then watch on the Zoom call as the police turned up, the paramedics and everything. Really? I don't think this is helping.
Your version's nicer because in your version the reason I don't stop them killing themselves is because I'm doing it on a Zoom meeting. That's way nicer than my bit, which was I'm just so caught up in my problems that they're killing themselves in the same room as me, and I'm like, oh well.
You're still talking.
Yeah. And I'm like, I imagine this is going to come up next time. So they keep asking me for all this fucking advice. And I'm like, my advice is, I'm like, slow down. Slow fucking down. There's a voice in your head that's telling you that because you've waited so long for this success, there's a voice in your head that's telling you that it's all going to be taken away, right? That it's all going to fucking disappear if you stop. And that's not fucking true.
But what if your advice is unique to you and you were like, right, your advice was to somebody who's just had 2 Netflix specials released, right? It's not going anywhere. It's on fucking Netflix. People are going to be watching that. Aye. You can chill out, right? You're giving this advice to people who are fucking trying to snatch the attention of the internet with 90-second clips.
No, but
maybe they do need to stay relevant because nobody's just going to stumble across them on on Netflix.
No, not this. The second touring gets involved. I disagree.
Yeah, because people want to see you again.
They'll come see you again.
They're engaged.
If you ever like what Milo's done, right? If Milo's gone out with a fucking shit show on that tour, right? If he'd done what like fucking YouTubers do when they do stand up, right?
Yeah,
right. They do a shit stand up show. People go out and say like, oh, you've got a return ratio of 30% next year. Milo is really fucking good at stand up, so people that come out and not expecting to be that good will really enjoy a show. So I'm like to Milo, I'm like, take 2 years off. I guarantee you, when you go back to these places, that audience will still be there because. And he's like, how would you know you've never taken 2 years off? And I'm like, I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you could. I wish I had.
Yeah. But so at the moment, to myself, I'm like, I do not believe, because I had that fear in my head after Netflix. I had that fear in my head after fucking X of being like, this will all go away, this will all disappear, all your dreams have come true, and if you stop fucking hitting the iron, it's going to fucking go cold. And I'm like, maybe I'm wrong.
Also, I think
maybe I'll be.
I think there'd be a little bit of that. Go, okay, if it does peak here, this is a pretty high peak, and if I go back down to there, that's fine. It's gonna be a little bit of a psychological adjustment. But like, if you can go for like, you know, say if you like Britain's Got Talent does it to everybody. There you go, and you can fill fucking big theatres now with 2,000 people, and then like that dies doing because the public are fickle, and now you're playing comedy clubs again. But at least you're filling a comedy club on your own name. So like, if you can just do the adjustment again, right? If this is a flash in the pan, it's fucking cool. I'm not just gonna wax it all. I'm not gonna adjust my quality of life to need this constantly and like put some of it away, pay some money off your house. Then that spike could just be like, oh, remember when I got that fucking windfall back in 2018?
Yeah,
I think the fear of dropping off is probably worse than actually dropping off.
Yeah, I'm not being able to adjust to it. I agree.
Aye.
And also, there might be the case when I go back on tour in a year or two, and maybe there are negative effects to taking this much time off, especially if the next show is a fucking stinker, right? And then do another show too quick after the fact. 4 years' time, maybe my career goes down. All right.
Aye.
I had a really good 10 years there. Aye. I had a really good 10 years.
And then, you know what, if you're filling Birmingham Glee, when you're going back to Birmingham, that's a fucking nice room to you'd probably start enjoying the actual gig itself a bit more if you ended up in like big comedy clubs.
And then also it's waves. Like, and then like once you go down to that fucking size again, you know, you get hungry again, you get fucking passionate again. Also, like, I mean, you know, I don't have a mortgage.
Aye, that's it.
You
don't need it. You can do it for the sport.
Yeah.
Back to what you were saying about the TikTokers not having a show but having an audience and coming in, right? One of the best compliments I've ever had was I did a comedy club in Amsterdam, so I performed at Comedy Cafe. And after the show, the owner of the comedy club was like, oh man, it's so good to have a fucking road comic come and do a show, somebody that's actually learned their craft. You know, because there's always YouTubers and TikTokers on and I have to fucking watch that. He was like, it was just such a compliment from him to go, oh, you actually learned how to do it first before you brought an audience here, thank you. And he was like, it was just like I was like, you know, when people give you compliments or great show or whatever, that was a compliment where I'm like, oh, I'm having that one. I'm taking that one.
Here's a question for you. So Australia is now banning social media for under 16s.
Okay.
Right. So first of all, Tinder's going to be shit. No, ban it. I fully agree with that, by the way. I think it should absolutely. But also, just get rid of it. Delete the internet. Just delete the internet. Let's get rid of it. Let's just delete the whole fucking thing.
I like the idea of what they did with the Oasis in Ready Player One, where you just couldn't be on it on a Wednesday. Start with that. Yeah. There's no internet on a fucking Sunday or something. Like, just make that the new Lord's Day. I mean, it's the old Lord's Day, but make that be what Sunday means. It's like, look, fucking, none of us have social media on a Sunday. No,
I said this on one of the fucking solo podcasts. You're not allowed on the internet anonymously anymore. Every account that you've got is directly, it's your full fucking name, it's your address, it's your phone number, and also everything you've ever posted is whatever you post. Let's say you do one fucking Yelp review, 2 stars because you didn't like this fucking restaurant, somebody can click on that, find out where you live, what your posts from 8 years ago on Facebook were, what you've been doing on Twitter for the past couple of years, because we've got to find out who you are, right? If the internet is going to become society, back in the days before the internet, when you lived in a small fucking community, right, and everyone was had free speech around each other, talking away, blah, blah, blah. So you could turn up at this new village, like, hey, this is a lovely place. Like, yeah, it is. See that Dave? He's a fucking liar. He lies about fucking everything.
Watch him.
Do not listen to what fucking Dave says. Dave didn't get to go back in his house, put on a fucking mustache, come out, call himself Dave194, and be like, I have no idea who the other Dave is. And then just start a new fucking business.
So you reckon like full regulated, you need a passport to log on?
100%.
Fucking scan your passport when 100%. You log on and all your details are behind everything you're saying.
I believe in
some
freedom
kind
of speech.
Of totalitarian thing though, isn't it? Like,
I believe in freedom of speech. I don't believe in freedom of anonymity at all.
But it's like, I say it's totalitarian, but you can't just fucking get in a car without fucking giving all your details of who you are in case anything fucking treacherous happens when you're in control of the vehicle.
If you are going to be a person, if you get to be a person of influence, right, we have to see what your influence has done in the past, right? In the same way that restaurants have reviews, right? In the same way that like fucking everyone, like most professional jobs have a fucking track record that are looked after, right? You have people online who are incredibly fucking influential, and there's no... Like, even though they've lied so much in the fucking past, openly and freely, there's nothing. If you Google their names, the first 50 results aren't, this person is a fucking liar. They're able to whitewash that part, and they're just like, hey, he's this funny, wacky guy who does this shit. The number one thing should be like, here's the 90 fucking lies they've told. There's a great news thing, because I'm not reading the news, but there's a newsletter I subscribe to called Tangle, right? And what they do is...
I'm not reading the news, but I get a newsletter. Yeah. Which is a letter about the news.
Because...
I'm not reading it, but...
This new Tangle go through all of the right-wing media, and they go through all the left-wing media, and they go, this is what the right-wing are saying, this is what the left-wing are saying, this is what we think, this is what we can deduce from this, and it's straight down the fucking middle. And the first thing they do in every fucking email before they tell you any of the news stories is... Here's what we got wrong in the last thing. Here's corrections. We said this was a mistake. It was actually this. We said this was a mistake. Also, this is the third mistake we've made in this quarter. The other two were this ones and all that stuff. Every newspaper, the front, however many pages, should always be, here's the lies we told in the past fucking week.
The corrections.
Yeah.
Because they do put corrections in, but they hide them away, don't they? Like newspapers are like fucking just
it's
page 37. You know that like dead bit of the newspaper. I don't know if you ever used to read the newspapers, but like, you know, if you worked in a place that'll be on the tables or whatever in the lunchroom, there'll be the tits. So there'll be the headline, the tits, and then a few stories that you might read. And then just this bulk of shite that you skip to get to the crossword, then the sport.
Yeah.
I'd read the thing backwards, I'd look at the tits and then start at the sport. That's how I'd read it. But then there's just this like bit of the newspaper between the crosswords and the main news articles. What's in there? Is that what that is?
Yes, yeah.
Is that them going, oh, P.S.?
Yeah, sorry, we got this wrong. Yeah, we accidentally said this thing wasn't a war crime, and it turns out it was a fucking war crime. Because I reckon if you're going out buying newspapers in the shops, and there are 10 options there, and 9 of them are, we were wrong. You're not buying those 9. You're going to go for the one that's got actual front page news.
Aye, then
and you go, buy that one. Yeah, exactly. And then these ones that lie all the fucking time, then have to, in order to increase their sales, go, we need to lie less in order for this not to be our front page.
Yeah, you have to get past the lies before you can see tits.
Yeah.
Man, if I had to go through that many lies for tits... There's a punchline to be attached to that. I just don't know what it is.
You've had a hard 3 weeks.
It's been 3 weeks of jokes. I like that. I like that too. It was hectic though. It was all wedged in. It was like what we used to do, like fucking just day after the day. Like I like the way we got that on the last tour, where we'd like, you know, pop out and do Germany, and pop out and do Sweden, and pop out and do Belgium. Like to do it like that. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Like doing the one day at the next thing's fucking intense. Getting a bit old as well now.
Yeah.
Still got it. Like the travel. Didn't drink as much with you.
Aye, that doesn't surprise me.
I smoked weed twice.
Aye.
Took gear twice. Took more gear than I normally do.
Where'd you do gear?
I don't want to be a snitch, but Oslo.
Oh, aye.
You know who?
Aye.
Just fucking surprises with it. I was like, nice.
Fuck, aye.
So, I didn't imagine it was cheap in Oslo and all. Like, they didn't want out for it.
Did you end up going out?
Shuffleboard, wasn't it?
Fuck yes.
Shuffleboard, football was on.
Aye, class.
Because that was the place I had a day off. I had a day off early doors.
That was a good time to be given gear.
Aye. And so I weed twice, gear twice. And then I drank most days, but didn't get drunk most days.
Yeah.
Like there was maybe the Tartu with the fucking Sparta shots and that I got smashed.
But like, was Connor in Tartu?
Yeah, I did not want that Sparta shot. Like, I was like, no, I did do it.
No, did he?
I was like, man, like, this is a baton you've been passed here. Like fucking, you better make sure fucking Petri or whoever comes with you next has that Sparta shot, because we'll pay that forward. Like, that's a good tradition.
Did he spew?
No, but he went quiet. he went super quiet. He shut up for a bit. Like, he said he was choking it down. Like, he was just trying to chat away to people. Like Lewis was there. There's a couple of people from the gig, and he was like, I'm just choking doing a spew, just wondering if I'm gonna have to run. But he's alright though. So,
fuck that shit.
But he couldn't hack it. He left after 2 weeks.
Aye.
He knew that was going to happen though. He had like just something in the family.
Aye.
And he knew at the start of the tour that he wasn't going to be there for the last bit. So when he went home, I used local acts where I could, and obviously everywhere's got local acts, but what I needed was local acts that could perform in English, because some of the people in the audience would only speak English, like from Scotland or America or wherever. So where I could, like in Turkey, in Ljubljana, Tin got up.
Oh, aye.
In Ljubljana, so the guy who promotes all your shows over the years.
Who opened for you in Turkey?
Just a couple of local acts, a lad called Hassan and a lass called Isha, did 7 minutes each.
Nice.
And then there was a lad called Alex who did the podcast, the last podcast we did. He did the two in Croatia, but it just meant I didn't have any in Bulgaria, didn't have any in Romania, and didn't have any in Austria, and you fucking feel it.
Yeah.
You totally feel the difference. Like it's not like a showbiz intro. Like, you know, if there's been an opening act on and then an interval, are they bringing you on? Like, you just hit the ground running. Whereas them 3 gigs, I had to dig the gig out.
Yeah.
And they had to adjust to my accent in a way that they'd already previously adjusted. It's not even my accent, just switching languages. Yeah. So just having that adjustment not made when you walk on stage, like the first 10 minutes, I was like, oh, this is going to be tough. And then 10 minutes in, I'm like, oh, this gig's sweet. And I'm like, oh, that's just what it's normally like from the start if you go on.
I guess that's why people just do fucking local up top.
And I did do a bit of that as well. Like, definitely in Bulgaria, I'd done quite a bit of local, and didn't really do much in Austria because they seemed a little bit like... I tried to get into them a little bit and chat to them, and they weren't really that given. Yeah, wasn't much coming out of them, and then I just realised that and started doing stuff. But even that, it's already done before you get on. And also, when I go on before you, I don't go on with like opening joke or like interaction. I go on with, this is what the show is. Daniel's there, give it up, and like I'm doing all these like fucking tricks to get everyone to stop their conversations and cheer and focus. I couldn't bring myself to do that when I walked on just for myself. Yeah. You know, I'm just walking on for my show. Hey, it's me, Kai Humphries, make some noise. Yeah, gross. You can't do that. Yeah. But if you're opening for somebody else, you can do that little bit of fucking pyrotechnic at the beginning. Yeah. And then that gives that fucking energy pump at the beginning, then you can say what you're going to say, and then there's the laugh. Whereas like going on cold and not being able to do that, you just have to build it up. And so them 3 gigs, I absolutely fucking missed having an opener on them.
Aye.
And I also had to do like longer on them ones in any case.
Well, I'm sorry I did that really horrible thing to Connor's family, but it had to be done. Yeah. So I sent him a message.
Fucking
I was like, the fuck do you think you're doing going on tour with Kai? That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. How's your gran?
you might want to ring up, by the way. So I've just landed back, so I've come here before I go home, and I'm kind of excited to go home and, you know, cuddle my wife and shag me dog.
Aye, yeah.
Can't wait to give me lass a biscuit and lick my dog out.
Yeah.
Walk my wife and pull my dog's hair.
Yeah.
All that stuff, yeah. Accuse me dog of cheating.
Ask Natalie if the dog's been cheating.
So I've got to go home and do all that. And there's been I fucking stupidly booked in this weekend of gigs at Glasgow Glee because I was coming to do this tour, and I'd like, Neil and I yourself probably haven't been paid for some of your touring already. Like, touring has got settlements and it takes ages to arrive. So I was like, I don't know how much or when I'm going to get paid for this tour, so I'm going to put in some fucking gigs when I get back. So I was meant to be at Glasgow's, like I land and then have a day off and then do gigs. And there'd been a diary fuck up and I actually wasn't booked for it. It was written in my diary, I wasn't there. And I've never been so fucking happy to lose a weekend's work.
Aye.
Like literally out of the moon that I've got the weekend off now. Should we go play some VR?
Well, yeah, and also go see my family. Aye.
Ah, yeah. Just forgot the camera was still rolling.